Irish Guy, and yes, the Premier League predictions are back. And last week, I went head-to-head with Vize. I got 43 points. Vize got 45, which actually puts him joint second in the leaderboard with Zach G-Lab. But still, everyone is languishing behind Anfield agenda. Is anyone going to stop this man? Honestly, he's turning into a Batman villain. But lads, you know the drill. Predicting every Premier League game this weekend. 10 points for a correct result, 4 points for a wrong result but correct outcome, and 3 points for every correct goal scorer. And oh lads, this one is a local derby. The one you've all been waiting for, the bloodthirsty rivalry, where I go head-to-head against my former sister club? Is that a thing? So this is like if João Cancelo lines out against New York City FC. Actually, Alfie's more of a Girona. I am coming face to face with a man who still represents a company that I left. So I'm kind of scared. I'm not fully sure if Alfie is a real person or if he was a HITC program cyborg invented just up to productivity in the company. But either way, let's all say hello to Alfie. Come on, prove to us that you're a real human being.
Right. Hello, Irish Guy and his viewers.
He sounds like C-3PO at a speed dating event.
As many of you will know, I resent doing prediction videos.
Oh, well, that's a great start.
I don't do them other than the World Cup and the Euros every 2 years.
This guy and his plant pot have been reluctantly dragged into this predictions video, kicking and screaming. Clearly the man would sooner spend these 10 minutes grilling himself a Tunisian peach risotto than subject himself to our predictions video.
But Michael has asked me nonetheless, you know, I like to help up-and-coming creators, so couldn't really say no. But they will be bad. And that's fortunate because there's a forfeit. It is quite a difficult forfeit.
What is it? What is the forfeit? I bet it's going to be something like come back to HITC.
My forfeit, in the unlikely event that I should top the leaderboard at the end of the season, is that Michael runs the whole length of Africa.
What?
Been made aware that this has been done at this stage, but a lot of people criticised the, what was his name? The guy who did it.
I can't remember, but he looks like a ginger yeti who lives off nothing but Huel.
A lot of people criticised him, saying, you know, that he only did it for attention, podcasts and whatnot, and make a lot of money. So I think it would be quite a selfless act, really, if Michael, the Irish Guy, were to do it with no fanfare.
So Alfie wants me to get chopped up in a Gambian forest. Oh, I'm sure that would be great fun. Getting mugged by a monkey whilst running through an Ivorian jungle. I know I said the forfeit could be anything. But the length of Africa? Okay, Alfie, but if you do manage to top the leaderboard in May, and I wind up getting eaten by a cheetah in 9 months, then I fully expect a HITC7's apology video. But come on, let's see then. Let's see your prediction, and I'm now seriously hoping that Alfie fails.
Straight into my predictions, although I would just finally say, I think there's a slight flaw with the format.
Oh, come on!
I think you could rig it if you were to predict sort of 15, 14 scorelines and name all the goal scorers. I think statistically, you would almost certainly win. It's a slight flaw though, isn't it? That's all. Look, it's not my series.
Oh, come on. This guy's coming on and critiquing the rules. I just know this man's cat is called Pushkas. But okay, come on then. Predictions, let's go. Tottenham versus West Ham.
The first game of the weekend, apparently, is Spurs-West Ham. I've got this written down, just to be clear. I don't like doing prediction videos, but I'm not a total nutter. I have done some preparation.
Oh, what? Is he finished?
I've got Spurs to win 3-1 against West Ham with Son, Solanke, Brennan Johnson and Jared Bowen with the goals.
Wow, so Alfie is actually saying that Brennan Johnson is going to score for Spurs 7 games in a row? He's having a good season, but 7? 7! If that happens, then I'll walk into Aldi and devour a cauliflower in the middle of the aisle. Look, I'm not going to agree with Alfie and say that it's going to be a Spurs win. No, I actually think they'll become unstuck and have to settle for a grueling, frustrating early morning draw at home with West Ham. Yeah, I think Dominic Solanke will score an early tap-in before John Clare to Debo nods in from a corner kick in the second half. The Hammers will hold out, frustrate Spurs, and yeah, 1-1 draw. Fulham versus Aston Villa.
I've gone for a 2-2 draw with Ollie Watkins, Morgan Rogers. Who's that? Tough to read that handwriting.
That's probably because you wrote it with a quill by candlelight.
Oh, Emil Smith-Rowe, of course. I'd used his initials, that was the confusion. and Rodrigo Muniz. Him. Those are the goal scorers. Mark my word, I'd be amazed if that one didn't come in. Put your mortgage on that.
Villa haven't played out a 2-2 draw at Craven Cottage since 1951. But look, I know Fulham have had a great start to the season, but I can smell a huge Villa win here. 3-1 win. Villa goals from Ollie Watkins, John McGinn, and yes, John Duran. With Raul Jimenez keeping up his decent goal scoring streak with a Fulham consolation. But honestly, lads, Villa are going to have a huge win here. Ipswich versus Everton.
I've gone for a 1-1 draw. Suits no one really, that does it. Except for me now, because I predicted that. With Liam Delap, former Hull City loanee, of course, and James Tarkowski.
You know what, Alfie, though? I'm going to agree with you that Delap will score. Not James Tarkowski, though. The guy has scored 1 goal in each of his last 4 Premier League seasons. So him scoring is an annual event. I mean, for someone who clearly hates predictions even more than haircuts, are you really trying to predict the one day of the year where this man scores? It's a bit like me trying to predict the one day where Johnny Depp takes a bath. March 14th? No, I'll go for an Ipswich win. 1-0 Delap. Man United versus Brentford.
I've gone for a 2-1 Manchester United win. Goal scorers in that game, according to me, will be Rasmus Højlund, Marcus Rashford, and Mikael Damsgaard. Yeah, I know, I'm surprised.
Rashford? Damsgaard? Both to score in the same match? This is like someone predicting that an adult will actually laugh at one of the jokes in the upcoming Shrek 5 film. Yeah, it's coming out a quarter of a century after the first one. I'm guessing Cameron Diaz now sounds like a chain-smoking goat, but I'm actually going to go for a 1-1 draw. I think the mood at Old Trafford is going to be flat after seeing their potential next Manchester United manager take the England job instead. But look, I think Brentford will frustrate Man United again. Just like how they nearly nicked a 1-0 win at Old Trafford a year ago, only for Scott McTominay to then morph into Superman. Well, that guy is now eating pizza in Naples, so who's gonna save you now? I will say 1-1. Rasmus Højlund and Christian Norgard with the goals. Newcastle versus Brighton.
2-2 draw in that game with Alexander Isak, Anthony Gordon, Daniel Welbeck, and that Jakub Minter.
Oof! Alfie has gone for a hard-hitting M. Night Shyamalan twist. Oh, that's someone who definitely loves signs. Predicting Newcastle and Brighton to be a 2-2 draw, with Yankuba Minte scoring a late equaliser. You know, the Gambian wing sensation who the Magpies sold before he even made his Newcastle debut. Lads, you don't even want to appreciate just what a spooky graveyard St. James's Park would be if they were to watch this exciting young talent wheel away in celebration for Brighton. I'm going to go for a Newcastle win, a comfortable win. You know I said Manchester United fans would feel down in the dumps after Tuchel got the England job? By contrast, there's going to be feeling utter relief on Tyneside. This is proof that Howe isn't going nowhere. And so yes, 3-0, Anthony Gordon, Harvey Barnes, and Sandro Tonali's first goal in over a year. Southampton versus Leicester.
Southampton versus Leicester. Big game. Biggest game of the weekend, if you ask me. I've gone for Leicester, though, to win 2-1 because I think they are less bad.
This guy does 47-minute documentaries about the state of women's football in St. Kitts and Nevis. The guy does hour-long deep dives into the evolution of bootlaces in Tonga. As we speak, he's probably scripting a documentary about the downfall of refereeing in 1940s Uganda. And yet, this football brains analysis of a relegation battle is that one team is less bad.
Cameron Archer, Mavadidi, and Odsonne Edouard with the goals. Would you believe it?
Southampton hate playing against Leicester City. It's true. This fixture is going to bring those home fans nothing but dread. We all know that 9-0 win at Southampton's ground nearly 5 years ago, that will haunt this club forever. I'm going to go with a 3-0 Leicester win. Southampton are still traumatized, and so yeah, Steve Cooper will absolutely tactically run rings around Russell Martin in this battle of the former Swansea coaches. 3-0 Leicester wins. Steffi Mavadidi, Harry Winks, and Jordan Ayew in a match which might just get Martin sacked. Bournemouth versus Arsenal.
I've gone for a 2-0 win for Arsenal. Goal scorers there being Bukayo Saka and Kai Havertz. Not very inventive, they're sort of probably two of the more obvious goal scorers, but then that makes sense.
Yeah, I'm the same. 2-0 Arsenal win. Except Gabriel Martinelli and Bukayo Saka. Wolves versus Man City.
I've got Man City winning. Would you believe it? I've actually, plumped. I'm going out on a limb. I've gone for Man City to win. Although, to be fair...
No, there is no to be fair. There is nothing you can possibly say that would change the fact that Manchester City are crushing Gary O'Neill like an ant.
Wolves won this fixture last season, didn't they? I think. Could be wrong. Cut it, please, if that's wrong.
Yeah, it did happen. but it was a fluke.
Man City to win 3-1 with goals from Mateus Cunha, Bernardo Silva, and Erling Haaland ×2.
Nah, I think Man City would absolutely wipe the floor with Wolves. 4-0. Goals from Mateo Kovacic, Ilkay Gundogan, Erling Haaland, and Manuel Akanji as Gary O'Neill gets shuffled ever closer to the exit door. I mean, of course City are winning this match. If they actually manage to lose at Molineux again, then I will pour 7 buckets of blue paint over my head. Liverpool versus Chelsea.
I've gone for a 2-1 home win. Liverpool are the home team, if you were wondering. With Salah to score a brace, and Noni Madueke with the other goal. Cole Palmer would have been the obvious answer, of course, and the more likely answer. So should have really picked him in a prediction game. But you've got to be different somewhere, haven't you?
You know what? I actually think this will be an all-time Premier League classic. I think this is going to be one of the most memorable games of all time. Alfie was choosing between Madueke and Palmer as if he was trying to choose his favourite album from Catfish and the Bottled Men. But choose both. That's what I'm doing. I think this will be a proper ding-dong of a match. Very similar to when Liverpool smashed Man City 4-3 6 years ago. I'm going to go for the Reds winning 4-3 with a Mo Salah hat-trick, a Diogo Jota goal, and Chelsea strikes from Madueke, Palmer, and João Felix. This is going to be an absolute fear pick, rock star, insane match, the most aesthetically pleasing Liverpool versus Chelsea game in Premier League history. Nottingham Forest versus Crystal Palace.
Final fixture, and Monday night, I believe, is Nottingham Forest hosting Crystal Palace. Tasty one.
It's about as tasty as chewing a squirrel's ear.
I've gone for a 1-1 draw there with Chris Wood and Eddie Nketiah.
Yeah, I'll go for a draw as well. But 2-2. Goals from Callum Hudson-Odoi, Anthony Elanga, Ebereki Eze, and Mark Gay in what will be a pretty fun Monday night match.
So those are my predictions. The first time, I believe, that I've ever done predictions, so I hope Michael is very grateful.
First ever set of predictions. Really? Really? This feels like a lot of responsibility. I don't know what to do. Should I give him a pregnancy test? So there you have it. This was the crunch battle between me and Alfie. Thank you, Alfie, for coming on and subjecting yourself to predictions. By the sounds of it, it would have been about as much fun for you as, I don't know, milking a pig. So thank you, Alfie. Any final words?
If I do win and you have to run the entire length of Africa, you've only got yourself to blame. But yeah, that's it from me. Good luck, Michael. I'm sure you'll win this week's edition, but I hope that you have enjoyed a rare Alfie set of predictions to all viewers watching this. Cheers and take care. Peace and love.
He waved at the camera 3 times. He gave us 3 goodbyes. My dad didn't even give me 1. Some say this man is still at home thumbsing up the camera. But listen, thank you, Alfie. Maybe one day we shall do an in-person video together, which our former boss promised about 5 years ago. Look, that is the end of the video. If you enjoyed, don't forget to give it a like, share, and subscribe as always. I'll talk to you in a while.